ABC Action News is keeping you informed this election year. We're offering candidates in the major races 5 minutes to talk about the issues. Here's Dan Schaefer with tonight's Democracy 2010 profile.
I'm here now with Charlie Crist, candidate for U.S. Senate, running as an independent, and, of course, current governor of the great state of Florida. Thanks for joining us for Democracy 2010.
Dan, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, first of all, let's explain again the affiliation switch from Republican to non-party candidate in your run for U.S. Senate.
Well, the Republican Party, at least the right wing of it, just went so hard to the right, as it relates to women's issues, to teachers, school children, education, seniors. I mean, telling seniors they want to raise the age of eligibility on their Social Security, telling teachers that they wouldn't be rewarded in the classroom, and telling women that they had to get an ultrasound. I mean, I had to veto bill after bill in order to stand up for people throughout the state. And the right wing of the party just went too far right, and that's where Marco Rubio is, and that's why I'm running as an independent.
Well, some in Washington say nothing there gets done in a vacuum, and eventually you're going to have to come down on one side or the other. True or not?
Not really. I mean, if I have the honor of winning, and I believe that we will, because the people really care about the kind of message they send to Washington, and it truly is gridlock there. I mean, they can't get anything done no matter what the issue is. And I think what Florida needs and Florida deserves is an independent voice with an independent mind in order to stand up for the people instead of the political parties. And that's what I think that our candidacy provides to the people of Florida.
Let's talk about the economy for a moment, and pulling the economy out of this current downturn. Do you support extending the tax cuts from the Bush administration?
I do, Dan. I think it's very important to keep cutting taxes, just like we've done here in Florida. I want to extend them because I think that we need to give small businesses a tax break, too, so that they can hire more people to enter the job market. It's all about jobs. It's all about the economy. Giving individuals and small business a tax break gives them the opportunity to spend their money much more wisely than any level of government would ever do.
That sounds more like a Republican stand.
Well, it is.
If you had to pick one or the other, I guess.
That's true. I mean, I'm a fiscal conservative and a social moderate. I'd rather have common sense instead of nonsense. And what Marco Rubio stands for is telling people what to do. It's almost a big government approach, whether it's Terry Schiavo or a woman's right to choose or what teachers can do in the classroom, and I just don't think that's where Florida is.
Now, you touched on this a moment ago, but Social Security, I want to go back for just a moment. You say both your opponents really have it wrong. What's your stance on keeping that solvent in the years ahead?
I think we need to protect and preserve it as it is today, and I'm the only candidate that says that about Social Security. It's so important to our senior citizens. It was a promise that was made to them. Marco Rubio has said repeatedly that he wants to raise the age of eligibility, cut benefits, put all these things on the table. Kendrick Meek, God bless him, says that he wants to punt it to a commission. And we all know what happens when they send it to a commission in Washington. They raise the age of eligibility and cut benefits. That's not right. It's wrong. We need to protect our seniors. I'm the only one who will do it.
Another issue, Republicans are coming out swinging this election cycle, especially repealing the president's health care reform. How would you fall on that?
I would have voted against it because I think it's important to get it right, and we need to fix it. If I have the honor of going to Washington, I'm the only candidate, again, who realizes that there are bad parts to it, like cutting Medicare by $500 billion, making it so that there's too much tax included in it, too many government mandates. But I also realize there's some good things to it, to make sure that people who have pre-existing conditions can get coverage. That's one of the good things in the bill. Now, my opponents, one has to hate it, Marco Rubio, one has to love it, Kendrick Meek. Only Charlie Crist can say, we need to fix it, do what's right for people first, not the parties.
Another one of these gridlock issues, as you call them, immigration reform. I'm not sure how you stand on the Arizona law, but how would you help protect the borders of the United States as a U.S. Senator?
Well, we have to protect the border first. As a former Attorney General, I understand that. But the Arizona law is dead wrong. And ironically, my Hispanic opponent, Marco Rubio, supports it, even though this is the kind of law that would, in essence, allow discrimination, law enforcement to pull people over because of what they look like, of being suspected of not being citizens. That's not right. He also opposes the DREAM Act that would say that, if children come to America under the age of 15, stay out of trouble with the law, either join the military and serve 2 years honorably or get 2 years of college, they can earn their citizenship. That's how my grandfather did it. But again, Marco Rubio opposes it. And La Gaceta really pointed that out. Very well-respected Hispanic publication here in Tampa. So I don't understand that. I think people want a compassionate pathway to citizenship that is earned by people, just like my grandfather, Adam Christodoulos, did.
Just about 30 seconds left. If you'd like to address the voters with some final thoughts.
Well, I'd love to. I think it's very important in this election that you elect an independent voice for Florida who really cares about you first instead of the parties. That's why I'm running as an independent. The right wing of the party, Marco Rubio, went too far right. They want to have big government tell you what to do in your life. If you're a woman, if you're a senior, if you're a teacher, I'll stand up and fight for you and your freedom. That's the difference.
All right. Thank you, Charlie Crist, independent candidate for U.S. Senate. You'll be facing, of course, Marco Rubio as your Republican candidate opponent, and Democrat Kendrick Meek as well in the general election. That happens November 2nd.